Hey guys, it's Jack here. Today I'm going to talk about dropshipping and really one of the reasons why a lot of people fail when it comes to dropshipping. Now when I say fail, I mean that they do it for the long run. Now some people may have a product that they might sell here and there, some people may have a product that might be a big hit, but ultimately the goal with a lot of people with dropshipping is to at least have a bit of a side hustle there and something that's long term. And I'm going to talk about why people fail to do that. And it more so comes from having the wrong mindset when it comes to them approaching dropshipping in general. So I'm going to go over a few things here and I'm going to talk about why I think this is the approach that you should have coming into dropshipping. If you're looking to dropship at the end of this year, 2021, and coming into 2022, it's the kind of outlook that I would have if you're looking to get into dropshipping. So I'm going to show a couple of examples here as to what kinds of things you should be looking at, I guess, aiming for. Now, this isn't the kind of scale that I would say you should expect to achieve, but this is something that you should at least aim for when it comes to dropshipping. So, a couple of brands here that you may know of. First off here, you've probably seen the ads around, you've probably seen someone that you know have them, or you might even have one yourself. The Oodie or the Oodie, I'm not sure how you say it. Let's just say Oodie. Let's just say Oodie. I think it's because Oodie. I don't know. I don't have one myself, but I know that these things are massive. Now, first off, the reason I'm showing you this website is because this whole video is going to be about branding. And I'm going to sort of show here on a sketch pad, I'm going to draw something up for you here and show you sort of the basics as to how I would approach it. And this isn't just to do with dropshipping. If you were doing Amazon FBA, it would be a very similar sort of situation in terms of brand building and really longevity of an online e-commerce business. Because gone are the days where you can sell shitty little bracelets and necklaces and make killings off of them and have print-on-demand businesses that'll just blow up in a couple of days. It doesn't really happen like that anymore because people are more accustomed to online buying. The customers are more accustomed to buying products online. They're used to the idea of online selling, and that means they're used to the idea of picking out, because people are a lot smarter than you think. They're used to picking out what websites are bad, what websites aren't, and it's really hard for you to build trust these days. And as it should be, if you look at, say, for me, if I look at myself as a consumer, I really look at, okay, is this a trusted brand? Is this a product that looks good quality? If it's something I'm going to put my trust into and use my money on, I'm going to start looking at brands. And I usually do that when I buy things. So if we look at the Oodie or the Oodie, I'm just going to say Oodie because Oodie sounds really weird. But this here, as you can see the website, now this is a brand, this is, I'm pretty sure off memory, it's a 7-figure brand or maybe even 8-figure brand. I can't remember, but I know that it's doing quite well. Because there's a lot of data out on the owner who is basically, I think he's around my age, around mid-20s. He owns the Oodie brand. So I know he owns other brands, but I can't remember his name, but I know that this is doing quite well, the Oodie brand. So this here, you can tell it's just a normal dropshipping website, right? This is something like a Shopify website that you can do yourself. Now, obviously he's got processes and a lot of things that are working behind the scenes to do all this. Like he's got the photos, he's obviously got someone helping him with the website, he's obviously got multiple people helping with the orders, customer feedback, everything else, warehousing. That's gonna be later on in this video, which I'll show you. But one thing I wanted to show you is, it's like the Oodie brand itself, it's built around not just the product, but the branding itself. So you've got a whole lot of things. They sell UGG boots and accessories now as well. I'm not gonna go into the website, but I wanna show this as a reference. Now, another thing you may have seen is Manscaped. So if you're a male, you may have seen a lot of the ads for this product. This product here started off with just for males. Now, I know females are using them now as well, which is great to see. I just like the idea of the branding behind it because there's a lot of advertising. Now, this is obviously a really, really cool website. I really like their layout of their website. But I'm just showing you these websites just for the case of branding and sort of how it would go with the process of say if you wanted to build a brand similar to this. Obviously this is going to take time, but let's just say you're looking to build a brand, say similar to the Oodie here, and you have a product in mind that's similar, or you have a product that you want to grow a brand out of. This is how it would start off with, okay? So let's just say you start off on something like, say, Aliexpress, and you're looking for products on Aliexpress. You're really not sure which way to go, but you want to start obviously trying out products, and the first thing you want to do is find a product that sticks. So what I would do here is I would start off with a product with demand. So I'm going to get my draw pad here and type a couple of things out. So you want a product that has demand, right? So after that, here's a few things that I would get sorted. So make sure your product has demand, make sure that it is high quality. Obviously that's going to be harder to find if I can't spell it, but it's going to be harder to find on a place like Aliexpress. Now, what I would do if you're looking to start up Aliexpress is just start off with Aliexpress, and you can find your way through better suppliers down the road. So I would start off with Aliexpress just to really test out products. Obviously you're not going to get the highest quality products, but this is where different suppliers come in down the road. But make sure that it's high quality and make sure that it solves a problem. Again, there's different ways to sort out things like how do you find if there's products with demand, how do you find if it's high quality, solves a problem, whatever. When it comes to solving a problem, I usually start with my own problems. If it's harder to find in retailers, you will most likely know this if you haven't seen them in normal stores like Coles, Woolworths, any other general stores. If it's an electronics store, maybe Target and Big W, ones like that, just your general stores. If it's harder to find them, that's a good sign. Now, when it comes to demand, usually if it's solving a problem, if it's solving a problem that you've had for quite a while, a problem that you're looking to solve yourself and there's no product around for that, if you've got that problem, usually other people have the problem. Now, obviously there's other ways, like you can use a piece of software, you can use other metrics to find demand in this product. We're not going to go through that in this video, but let's just say you found a product with demand. In this video, I'm going to talk about sort of growing to the point of Audi, or how I would go about growing to the point of Audi or Manscaped, or along those lines. So first we've got the product, okay? Next thing we're going to go from here is we want to go to, and my computer's a bit laggy, but that's fine. So the next thing we want to go to here is growing the sales, right? So this is where you would scale, right? So this is where, okay, you've got a product with demand, you're growing the sales to see how far you can grow. Like basically start growing the product, and this is more so around the point where you wouldn't really so much be growing the brand, you'd start to grow the brand from here. But that would be things like, okay, you may brand the website, you may start branding the website around one product or around a small niche of products. Let's say we're growing the product around, or growing the brand around a fitness product, right? So after that, from growing the sales, you would start to look at branding. Try and explain this without wasting as little time as possible on this. So after you're growing these sales, so you would start to move from, say, Aliexpress with the shipping times that are obviously, say, more than, I guess, 15 to 20 days. Maybe if you're lucky, it's 15 to 20 days. More than likely, it's more than around 30 days. You want to start steering away from that, because as you get more and more sales, and I've experienced this on my own stores, as you get more and more sales, even if you state it on your website, if it's more than 30 days, or let's say more than 20 days, customers don't really want to wait that long, right? 15 to 20 days is not a bad waiting period, as long as you state it on your website. But Aliexpress, it's going to be harder when we've got a higher volume of sales coming in, higher volume of orders. You've got more and more people that are waiting those 15 to 20 days. If it's longer than that, usually they don't want to wait. So I would start coming along to, I guess, if you're selling in Australia, more local suppliers like iDropship, where they have faster shipping. It's usually, say, shipping here is 3 to 5 days. And obviously there's a smaller selection of products here, but that is something that I would start to look at as well. iDropship, there's other ones as well. There's sort of like eProlo and HyperSkew. They're more so not local suppliers, but they're ones that have faster shipping. So you're at the point where when you're scaling, you want to look at, as you're growing your brand, you want to look at providing better services for your customers. I wouldn't stick with Aliexpress or one similar for too long. That would be sort of more like the testing phase, right? So you're looking at iDropship, you're looking at more local suppliers. So we're going to put in here branding. We're going to put in here as well branding, put in here local suppliers, better services. Then we can just say shipping, etc. So this along the lines of maybe you would start looking at a freelancer, hiring a freelancer for, say, customer service, dealing with the email, someone dealing with the orders. Depends on what you're at your growth stage. So after that, after the branding, you would sort of look at, and when I say branding, you know, the local suppliers, better services and whatnot, this is where you would start looking at, okay, maybe this is where I need to start branding the product. So from here, once you're in the branding stage of solidifying your brand, say the website, say your social media, in terms of branding. After that is when I would say you should look at branding the product, right? If you haven't done that already, because branding the product and having your actual brand logo on your product and packaging is where it starts to really, I would say, speed things along the branding process. Because the reason I'm talking about branding in this video is because branding is something that is so powerful. When you look at things that you buy yourself, like things that you purchase yourself as a consumer, more than likely you're buying it because of the brand. What do I have? I have a Sony camera. What do I have in front of me? A MacBook laptop. I could have purchased cheaper ones, but I personally like these brands. I personally trust these brands. My computer is an Acer computer, right? My screen is an LG screen. Everything here that I've got around me, most of the things here are from brand. The foods that I buy, most of the times because it's from brands I trust. Even if it's home brand stuff, it's Cole's home brand, right? They're all brands. So this is something that I always push on this channel and something that I think is very important, branding. So branding the product. Now, how would you go about branding the product, right? And the next part of this is going to be an even bigger part to branding in terms of really solidifying yourself, right? And in terms of giving people better services. We'll get into that in a second. But let's just say from here, branding the product, what would you do from here? I would maybe do something like, go and search for products on Alibaba. So Alibaba is something that you see a lot of people using for Amazon FBA, where you send your products to an Amazon warehouse. Let's just say for dropshipping, you can contact suppliers on Alibaba who actually dropship, and they will actually paste your logo on, or they'll sticker, engrave it, whatever you want to do, print your logo onto your product or your packaging as each unit gets sold. So you can either do that, and I'll put it in here. You can contact Alibaba. So I'll just put in here. So you want to look at places like Alibaba where, it's a website that has suppliers that will brand your product for you. Alibaba is just one that's got a big, massive selection of products, and it's just a lot easier to talk to suppliers. It's a lot easier to deal with them. Alibaba's got things like, safety in terms of money back guarantees if something happens to your order. Just, there's a lot of things in place that make Alibaba really good. So let's just say we're going to use Alibaba as a reference. Logos, if I can spell logos. Looking at potentially pre-buying stock as well at this point. So you're at the point where people are starting to notice if you're advertising. They might see you on social media. They might see people have your product around, but there's no branding on there. So let's just say at this point, Audi might have been at the point where they just branded their website, but now they got to the point where they're pre-buying their stock. They're getting the Audi logo actually on the Audis themselves instead of just having it maybe on the packaging or whatnot. I'm not sure what the process they did with that. I'm not sure what their process was, but let's just say from here we've got, you've got the checking the demand of the product, growing the sales, got the branding in terms of the website. You're starting to look at improving your services. You're starting to look at really growing your brand on socials. Then from there, maybe we look at branding the actual product themselves, really solidifying this logo, this brand name, etc. So from there, what would you do from there to grow? You want to sort of improve the services again, and this is sort of like the ultimate goal, right? And I'm just I'll circle this later. So this would be like the ultimate end goal, right? These are the points that Audi, say brands like Audi and Manscaped are at, where they've actually got pre-bought stock sitting at a warehouse. So they've actually got warehousing there. They've got improved services. So really, as soon as someone makes an order, they do all their orders in-house instead of having someone else do their orders for them. So they're fulfilling all the orders. We go more control over orders and stock. So really, this is like the ultimate sort of end branding goal, right? And this is where you can really start to grow. Now, obviously, this is easier said than done. So really, when it comes to this ultimate end goal, you got to take it step by step, right? Because this here, now you don't have to fully go full the warehousing. This is sort of bigger brands where, Audi, Manscaped, that's where they have, this is like their forte. This is where you'd be fully into the business. If you were just looking at, say, like a side hustle or something that is not, you don't want it to be your lifeblood kind of thing. If you're just looking to sort of grow a brand more so on the side, then you could go from this quality, high demand product, high quality product, go from the start point here. So you could basically start off at this, you know, finding a product that's got high demand, high quality, solves a problem, hard to find in retailers, all that. You could start growing the sales, and then you could start branding from there, and you could keep it at that point. Now, it may be a little bit harder to grow. The point that I would probably stop at is this one here. I would probably stop, if you don't want the warehousing, I would probably stop here. If you just want something, say like, you can scroll down here, I'll just move this up here. Say if you just wanted to keep it at maybe side hustle level. This is obviously going to require a lot of your time still, especially if you're looking to grow something significant and make something that is sustainable. I would maybe stop here at the branding the products where you're looking at Alibaba, maybe pre-buying some stock. You could keep it at your own house. You could, you know, pack the orders yourself, or you could say send it to like a third-party fulfillment center where you just send the stock to them. You pay them a fee per unit. They can ship it out for you. It's basically like using someone else's warehouse. That is very similar to this, but say the ultimate end goal is maybe, and I've seen a lot of people do this, especially in Australia, they have their own little warehouses themselves. They buy the warehouses, and then they have all this space. They have, you know, label printers, they have packaging, they just do all the services in-house. They just get the stock sent to them. When orders come through, they package them themselves, and then they ship it out themselves, and then they deal with everything themselves, whether they have someone for customer service, maybe they have someone who does the accounts and things like that for them. But really the ultimate end goal here would be to have a solidified brand where people know what the brand is. You have stock, you know, at warehouses, everything is done in-house, instead of having it shipped from China, instead of having shipped from somewhere unknown that's going to take maybe a month to get there. You've got from that point of using Aliexpress to having your own stock. Then from there as well, something that I could add to this is having your own personal local manufacturers, right? So not just suppliers, but manufacturers, where you may even be able to find someone who can produce these in Australia, right? So this could be a second point to this, and it's really done in-house. Like everything's done. Say if you're selling in Australia, you could do that. Then if you live in Australia, you could even ship it from there to not just Australia, but worldwide. You could have your own personal manufacturers, and then you could really take control of the quality of your product. But that is something that that you should look at down the line. Really, this is the sort of whole method that I would go through if you are looking to grow, completely looking to grow in terms of branding. The reason I'm doing this video as well is just to, and that's the reason that Tyler's video is why most people fail. It'll be something similar to that. Why most people fail when it comes to dropshipping is because this is the mindset you have. This isn't what you have to do, but this is the sort of mindset that you should have the track of going from finding a good product all the way to trying to scale and really brand it all out. And that is something that is going to take a lot of time. It's going to be a lot of headache, especially when it comes to finding a product, especially when it comes to growing it. There's a lot of things along the way, a lot of bumps along the way when it comes to advertising, it comes to quality, it comes to dealing with customers, when it comes to orders, scaling, all that kind of stuff. But this brand building sort of method is something that I would suggest if you are looking to get anywhere close to something like Oodie, Manscaped, just these brands that have turned from, because these are brands that have gone from testing products all the way to solidified brands, and that's come from growing and advertising and solidifying a brand itself. So that's why brand building is always going to be something I'm going to be talking about on this channel, something that I would definitely look into if you're looking to get into dropshipping. But that is about it. I would still follow this method as closely as I can. Now, this is just one man's opinion, right? This is just my own opinion. This isn't gospel. This is just something that I have seen happen over and over again, and it's something that I would recommend, especially if you're looking to grow an e-commerce brand. But I'm gonna leave that there for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got some value out of it. If you do have any questions, let me know. Comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe.